Lesson 236. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. Welcome to the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and this is the Lucid Mind Center. The reason why it's called Qigong support is because at the end of reading and contemplating this class together with you, I will guide you to some Qigong classes which I have recorded especially for this particular section of A Course in Miracles, which is what is salvation. For the ones who have been with me for a while, I have returned back to Gran Canaria where I live, and I had a very intensive week. I have laughed a lot, I have enjoyed myself a lot, I've also been very sad, I have cried a lot for different reasons. The ones who know is that my father passed over on the night from Friday to Saturday. He actually died on the Saturday early morning at 1:40 Austrian time. And I had been there with my sister and said goodbye. I'm very happy that I have done this, but it was very emotional. And then the Friday I traveled to Denmark, and on Saturday we were invited to a silver wedding of a very old friends of ours who love each other dearly and have gone through their ups and downs. So we went to this Danish silver wedding where they have speeches for each other, and friends and family have speeches for them, and it was very emotional. I think there were 7-8 speeches and we all cried of joy and happiness of experiencing this partnership and this love of husband and wife during all this time, and also their children and family towards them. And on the last 2 days, we went to see our youngest child, who lives in the south of Denmark in a new boarding school. And it was also interesting to see him, how he's thriving, and he's now new there, so he has to learn everything again, make new friends and everything. And then to leave him there, that was very, very hard. So there has been a lot of up and downs exactly through this section of what is forgiveness and what is salvation, kind of this particular section in the Course in Miracles. So obviously I'm applying those lessons every single day. But at the end of the day, we gotta take life as it comes, and we gotta enjoy it. We gotta be present, and we got to overlook the bad things we seem to see in other people. And it's, as it says today here, it is my mind which rules, and I have got to control my mind. So let's start reading the lesson, and I'm going to give you more instructions on how to do the Qigong classes at the end of the class. Lesson 236. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. I have a kingdom I must rule. This is my kingdom. This, what I see around me, is my kingdom, and I want to claim this to be mine. At times, it does not seem I am its king at all, this mind here. It seems to triumph over me, the ego, and tell me what to think and what to do and feel. And yet it has been given me to serve whatever purpose I perceive in it. This kingdom has been given to you, and you can make of this whatever you want, this life of yours, as this particular person which you have taken on in this particular lifetime, this body, these circumstances. 8 billion of us. We each one are the rulers of this kingdom of our life. Each one of us. At times it does not seem I am its king at all. It seems to triumph over me, this life, this kingdom, and tell me what to think and what to do and what to feel. And yet it has been given me to serve whatever purpose I perceive in it, in this life, in this kingdom, in this mind of mine. My mind can only serve. Please let this sink in. My mind can only serve. That means you are not your mind. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You are that which is guiding your mind whichever way you want your mind to go. You are the higher self. You are spirit. You are the Christ consciousness. And the mind, if you allow ego to rule, is going to make you miserable, and you're going to forget that you are the true self. My mind can only serve. Today I give it service to the Holy Spirit to employ as He sees fit. The Holy Spirit, your higher self. I thus direct my mind, which I alone can rule, and thus I set it free to do the will of God. You rule your mind. You decide which way this life is going to go. You decide what you're going to think and allow to linger in your mind. I allow it, you allow it, we all allow it. And you cannot force nobody to think anything. The only thing what you can do is control your own mind. Guide your own mind. Decide what you want to see. On a minute-to-minute, on instant-to-instant basis, you deciding which way you want to look at this life. And what you maybe have noticed is that we get better at it as Course in Miracles students. We get better at choosing differently, at choosing again the light, the love, the kindness, the gratitude. This is what we are training here. We've been training for 235 days. We have been training to think differently. In this year, we are dedicating to our God, to our source, to our higher self, to our Holy Spirit, our Christ consciousness, to our eternal love. You can call it whatever you like. Names are just symbols of symbols and twice removed from reality, because reality is just simply being aware of your true self. And everything else are just symbols. And then we have got the names for those symbols. So let me read this again. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. I have a kingdom I must rule. At times it does not seem I am its king at all. It seems to triumph over me and tell me what to think and what to do and feel. And yet it has been given me to serve whatever purpose I perceive in it. My mind can only serve. Today I give it service to the Holy Spirit to employ as He sees fit. And here again, the important thing to know. God, the Holy Spirit, and you are the same. God, Holy Spirit, true self, Christ consciousness. It's the same. It's an extension of its same. That's why they're all male in the English language, to make you understand that it's the same. This is not something which is less than the other, which we maybe through our language or through our historical understanding or on the world may misunderstand. Some of us think that female is more worthy than male, and some of us think that male is more worthy than female. It's not. This is just different expressions of this world we live in. You just need female and male. It needs to be separate. So when it comes together, it creates. It's the yin-yang. It needs to come together. It's the two opposite poles. This is what the duality of life is, the dualism of this perception. And what we want to do is we want to return to oneness. This is also the Holy Trinity. It is union, separation, and reunion. This is what it is about. This is always the Son, He being created by God, and then He wants to separate Himself. So he splits into yin-yang, He splits it up, and then to return back, He has to come back into union. At times, it does not seem I am its king at all. It seems to triumph over me and tell me what to think and what to do and feel. And yet it has been given me to serve whatever purpose I perceive in that kingdom of mine. My mind can only serve. Today I give it service to the Holy Spirit to employ as He sees fit. I thus direct my mind, which I alone can rule, and as I set it free to do the will of God. And today's prayer goes like this. Father, my mind is open to your thoughts and closed today to every thought but yours. I rule my mind and offer it to you. Accept my gift, for it is yours to me. So my gift to God, my gift to this holiness within me is actually a gift to myself. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. It's a very, very beautiful lesson. It's very powerful. And this is where you are claiming, you're becoming aware that you are in charge. You're claiming your mind, you're claiming your home, you're claiming your awareness and what you see, this perception which is around you. So for this particular Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to read the sentence, I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. And I'm also always asking you in those classes to read the prayer and then to sink in and receive additional clarification from God, from Source, through the Holy Spirit, through your Christ consciousness. Sink this awareness deep within. Claim your mind again. Remember that this is your mind, this is your life, this is your experience. And you have come here, like we all have, especially when you're doing the Course in Miracles, we have come here to light up the world, to remember that we are the light of the world. So put the book next to you somewhere, and you can do a standing or a seated meditation. Our special idea is what is salvation? And these are 10 different ways of approaching this particular idea, what is salvation? And remember that we are supposed to read every day the special thought, what is salvation? You can find all the links below in the description. I'm going to guide you through that. So I suggest to do the standing meditation at least once or twice during this period, and the seated meditation you can do every day just before night, just before sleeping, which is going to guide you into a deep meditative state, and you can apply this lesson too. So here you have got the standing meditation for what is salvation. Here you have got the seated one. Here you have what is salvation. And here you have got the whole list of Qigong classes if you would like to do another one. Enjoy.